Hello and welcome to Axis Pakistan. I'm Omer Farooq Khan. When the Taliban captured Kabul back in August 2021, Pakistan thought this was it, a turning point, a friendly country next door, an end to years of mistrust and cross border attacks. But 4 years later, that optimism is gone. The border is on fire again, and the so called brothers on both sides of the Durand line are staring each other down. Let's rewind. It's August 2021. The Taliban just rolled into Kabul. Pakistan's then ISI chief, Lieutenant General Faiz Hamid, is at Kabul's Serena Hotel, calm, confident, sipping tea. A journalist shouts a question. He smiles and says, "Everything will be okay soon." Those words summed up Pakistan's mood, hopeful, even triumphant. The thinking was simple. Now that the Taliban are in charge, the TTP will fall in line, Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, and peace will follow. But it didn't. Instead of peace, Pakistan got more violence. The Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan or TTP came back stronger. They regrouped, they rearmed, and they started hitting targets across northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, especially in the former tribal regions and the districts bordering them. At first, the Afghan Taliban tried to play peacemaker, bringing Pakistan and the TTP to the table in Kabul. That didn't last long. Talks collapsed and the attacks only got worse. Since then, Pakistan has been demanding action, hand over the TTP, try them in Afghan courts, or at least stop them from launching attacks from your soil. But Kabul hasn't done much, and the frustration in Islamabad keeps growing. Now came the latest clashes. Heavy fighting along the border, some of the worst since 2021. Pakistan says 23 of its soldiers were martyred and claim over 200 of the Taliban fighters died. And all of this happened while Afghanistan's foreign minister, Amir Khan Muttaqi, was in India. He's still in India. Now that really raised eyebrows in Islamabad. During the visit, Muttaqi denied Pakistan's claims about the TTP. He even said it's not. He even said in a not so subtle jab that Afghanistan had defeated both the Soviet Union and the United States. The message was clear: don't lecture us. That moment showed how much things have changed. Back in 2021, the Taliban leaned on Pakistan for diplomatic cover. Today, they are asserting independence, confident, defiant, and not afraid to push back. For Pakistan, that's unsettling. For the Taliban, it's sovereignty. But there is also a bigger power watching, the United States. Washington has once again begun to weigh in, urging the Taliban to stop militants from using Afghan soil to attack Pakistan. The US State Department recently said it supports Pakistan's counterterrorism efforts. Moreover, and also stated it expects from Kabul to honor its commitments made at Doha. At the same time, the US President Donald Trump has been talking about Bagram Air Base, that massive former US military hub north of Kabul. He has demanded that Afghanistan hand Bagram back to US control, calling it a mistake to leave it behind. The Taliban's response was swift and firm. Their spokesman said that no deal over an inch of Afghan soil is possible. They reminded Washington of the Doha Agreement and said any move to take Bagram back would be seen as a violation of Afghan sovereignty. So while Pakistan and Afghanistan accuse each other of interference, the US is once again circling the conversation. And Bagram has become more than a loss, more than a base. It's now a symbol of power, pride, and who really controls Afghanistan's future. At the heart of this standoff, though, is mistrust, deep historic mistrust. Pakistan says Afghanistan has become a safe haven for militants attacking its security forces. Afghanistan says Pakistan is still interfering in Afghanistan's internal affairs and treating Afghanistan as its backyard. Both call each other brothers, but this brotherhood feels more like rivalry. And there is another twist. Afghanistan is now home to a mix of armed groups, ETIM, Uzbek fighters, Chechens, Daesh, even Al-Qaeda remnants. But here is what is striking. None of them are targeting China, Russia, or the West. The TTP, an anti-Pakistan group, continues attacking security forces and civilians, vowing to establish an Afghan Taliban-style regime in northwestern Pakistan. So, while Kabul insists it's not backing anyone, Islamabad is convinced that Afghanistan is turning a blind eye. And then there is a more important, and there is the India angle. Muttaqi's outreach to New Delhi isn't just about diplomacy, it's messaging. It says we don't need Pakistan anymore. For Pakistan, that's a red flag, a reminder that influence for Kabul, once seen as a strategic advantage, is slipping fast. Another important development linked to the Pak-Afghan tension is unfolding inside Pakistan itself. A new chief minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Iqbal Afridi of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf Party, has been elected following the resignation of Ali Amin Gandapur. The PTIO openly opposes new military operations in the former tribal districts bordering Afghanistan, a stance that's not in line with the security establishment's policy. For the military, fresh action is necessary to crush TTP strongholds. And for the PTI, it's a political mistake. And that difference between the two adds yet another layer to Pakistan's already fragile Afghan equation. 4 years ago, when General Fazamid said everything will be okay soon, it sounded confident, almost prophetic. But today, nothing feels okay. Not the border, not the diplomacy, not the trust. The Taliban may have won the war in Afghanistan, but Pakistan, it seems, is still paying the price. Two countries, shared faith, shared history, yet a growing divide. Both claim to be victims of terrorism. Both accuse the other of betrayal. And both have lost too much to admit they are stuck in the same cycle. To admit that they just don't come out of it. In the end, it's not the officials or policymakers who suffer. It's the ordinary people on both sides of the border. They are the ones caught between two neighbors who can't seem to trust each other. You've been listening to Axis Pakistan. I'm Omer Farooq Khan. Until next time, stay tuned, stay safe, and stay informed.